There is a cadence to Halo. You can dance to it. Often players' avatars do. They strafe, they jump, they crouch, and they turn around and do it all again. But with that dance comes a song born from that same rhythm, and while the Spartans dance, the players sing the song. One shot on my X. Weak P1. Flag absolute. In every Halo, the tempo of the song is determined by one weapon. If you're a Halo player, you can close your eyes, think of a Halo title, and hear it. Hear the sound. Hear the tempo. And you can see the Spartans fall. You know how many shots landed to down them, but did you fire each of them? Or did the other singers? It might depend on the title. If you killed them, if your friend did, or if they made it to cover, only for the bridge of the song to sound and their shields to recover. Howdy, this is Replica 419 reporting. In last week's community update, Unishek did his best to smooth over some of the community's concerns about Halo Infinite, but despite his effort, I found reason for apprehension. Beyond the issues of graphics and flighting and other indicators that content may be rolled out slowly rather than at release, one question and answer stuck out to me. The new MK50 Sidekick and CQS 48 Bulldog look cool. Will there be other pistols or shotguns in the game? Here's the abbreviated answer, as this video will be focusing on the Sidekick rather than the Bulldog. We're excited to build on Halo's legacy sandbox while also introducing new components to further evolve and expand the gameplay experiences. The Sidekick and Bulldog are brand new weapons that bring something different for players to sink their teeth into. The Sidekick is a true sidearm pistol that is lightning fast to draw and fire, truly excelling as a reliable backup when your primary weapon is depleted and a brute is bearing down at you. Compared to previous titles, this weapon's closest to Halo 2's version of the Magnum. There are additional variations of each of these, but the classic Magnum and tactical shotgun aren't currently featured in Halo Infinite. As we look beyond launch, we have robust plans to continue evolving the game, which include further additions to Halo Infinite's sandbox. We understand some players won't be thrilled over the prospects of different pistols and shotguns, but we encourage you to keep an open mind, and we look forward to everyone getting hands-on perspective with these new weapons when the time comes. So this begs the question. Perhaps the most important question when it comes to Halo multiplayer: what will Halo Infinite's utility weapon be? Or will 343 be repeating a mistake made in past Bungie titles and have the assault rifle as the focus of the predominant loadout? Should we read into the loadout Chief leaves the Pelican with in the Infinite gameplay reveal as telling for the multiplayer? Or was it just an attempt at Combat Evolved nostalgia? Overall, I'm very concerned. I do not mind the addition of a true sidearm pistol to Halo, but at the cost of the Magnum, which in Halo 5 served as the starting weapon, I fear we will no longer have a competitive starting loadout. Let me be clear, an effective precision starting weapon is essential for Halo multiplayer. Effective in itself is not nearly enough. If the weapon is too easy to use, it lowers the skill ceiling of the game. This is bad for two reasons. It doesn't allow players to differentiate themselves, and it makes player interactions stale and redundant. The starting loadout requires an effective precision weapon as a means to combat cascading advantage within a match. In a game where you can pick up weapons on the map that kill multiple opponents in a single shot, it's essential for those spawning to have at least some counterplay, and counterplay at range. The alternative is the team that wins the initial rush for power weapons builds on their initial advantage, and players are left stuck in a very one-sided match, even if the teams are relatively evenly skilled. So a utility weapon in Halo is a precision starting weapon that is easy to use but difficult to master. It allows for ranged engagements, but it is rarely the best choice when considering other weapons on the map to be picked up, though it must be effective. I'm not saying Halo 5 was the gold standard for a starting loadout. The Halo 5 Magnum was outclassed by nearly every map pickup, not just the power weapons. It was a little easy to use as well, but in the context of Halo 5, where many guns were even easier, it at least managed the role of a utility weapon. Counter that with Halo 5's battle rifle, which did everything the Magnum did, but with less difficulty, and you can easily see my concern. Yes, in the Halo Infinite gameplay trailer we did see the BR, but if it is just a carryover from Halo 5, I am not relieved. I'm further concerned. So, what is the ideal utility weapon? I'm sure there are many differing opinions, and I don't purport to have the best solution, but let me state my case. A good Halo utility weapon is single fire rather than burst fire. Its optimal kill time is quick but hard to achieve, and its shot to kill are few but hard to hit. It's capable of zooming in but not sniping, and if all your shots land, you are rewarded with enough ammo to continue targeting more opponents without reloading. Many of the actual statistics of this weapon depend on whether it's hit scan, the bullets land on the target the instant the trigger is pulled, or projectile, the weapon produces a round that travels and takes time to reach its destination. Obviously, a projectile weapon has a better chance to miss in the average player's hands, so it doesn't have to require too many shots to kill, whereas a hit scan weapon requires more shots so that the player has more opportunity to miss. We already have a fairly good example of a projectile version of this gun in the Halo Combat Evolved Magnum. I don't know if the original Magnum is perfect, but it is single fire rather than burst, which prevents players from sweeping for headshots instead of aiming. It kills quickly and with a few shots, but because it's projectile and relies on less player aids like magnetism, it is harder to master. It zooms and is effective across map, but again, it's difficult to land those shots. And if you somehow land every shot, you can single-handedly take down an opposing team. When we look at the history of utility weapons, the CE Magnum is easily the best example. It does all the things a utility weapon should do and gives power to the individual player rather than relying on teammates and callouts to ultimately confirm kills. The Halo 2 battle rifle is hit scan and insanely easy to use. Without button combos, there's little room for players to shine, divergent player interactions, or individual agency. The Halo 3 battle rifle is projectile, but relies more on random spread rather than difficulty of use to achieve textured interactions. It is simultaneously easy and ineffective, forcing players to rely on their teammates. The Halo Reach DMR takes too long to kill, and relies on random spread or reticle bloom to vary interactions rather than leaving it to player skill. While it removes burst fire and is hit scan, its problems are functionally similar to the Halo 3 battle rifle. This is exacerbated by an opponent's ability to sprint away. The Halo 5 Magnum maintains an ease of use, and relative to its powerful sandbox, is still ineffective. It is further hampered by a small magazine size, considering the number of shots it takes to kill. So although it is arguably more skillful than battle rifles, its lack of effectiveness rules it out as an ideal utility weapon. Until we know the mechanics Halo Infinite will rely on, it's hard to say what exactly the ideal utility weapon will be. But if the Magnum is out of the game, I'm very concerned we will end up using a battle rifle that is easily mastered and leaves little room for the individual player to shine and set themselves apart from their opponents. I'd prefer a single-fire projectile weapon, with an optimal kill time that is not over a second, taking no more than 4 shots to achieve said kill. Ideally, there would be enough rounds in a magazine to achieve at least a triple kill without missing shots. Whether in the end it's hit scan or it ends up taking a 5th shot to kill, it won't matter as much if, at least, the perfect kill time is quick and significantly quicker than the average. Hopefully Halo Infinite won't rely on a sidearm pistol as a starting weapon next to an assault rifle, much like Halo 2 and 3 did in their non-battle rifle start variants. Hopefully, if a BR does prove to be the starting weapon, it won't pose the same problems as so many other similar weapons have in past titles. Both of those outcomes are untenable for the future of Halo multiplayer, but we have little evidence otherwise, and that has me worried. Ideally, 343 will build on what they learned with the Halo 5 Magnum. It is honestly very close to a functional utility weapon. All we need is a slightly faster kill time, a pinch more skill required, and more reward for the individual who lands their shots. Thanks for taking the time to listen to my thoughts on Halo Infinite's potential utility weapon. If you agree, please give the video a like so I know how you feel. If you disagree, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. And if you'd like to know more about how kill times and difficulty are important to Halo, I've linked to Philip Gann's video where he breaks down kill times in greater detail. If you'd like to know my general impressions about Halo Infinite's gameplay reveal, I've linked that video as well. Thanks again, don't forget to subscribe for more content. This is Replica 419, signing out.